G'day YouTube. I've been debating on and off for a few days since this happened whether or not I should make a video about it. Milwaukee 9.0 battery. If you watch some of my videos, you'll see them frequently pop up in the videos. Now, this is going to make me look stupid, but we're going to do a series on safety with batteries because that's all that was left of one that was charging on the bench inside my house. It caught fire. It exploded. It was a ginormous fireball. That's the insides of 3 or so cells that detonated and went full thermal. Let me explain how this happened. So there you go. See, all blown out and ballooned, and now it's empty. Side note, quick thinking by me made this not go horribly pear-shaped. If I had made the next mistake and not been in the room, or had it near curtains or something like that, she would have been all over. This would have burnt my house to the ground. Now, I don't want this to scare you off, but a bit of extra knowledge for everyone. We'll be able to make it all a safer affair. Right, let me explain what went wrong. This isn't a 9 amp hour battery, this is a 5, but the principle is going to be perfectly the same for this explanation. So what happened this night, I had my 9 amp hour battery that I was trying to repair. What was wrong was one cell set, so there's 3 cells instead of 2 in each series set on a 9 amp. One set was sitting at 4.1 volts. The next 4 sets of 3, so 12 cells in total, were sitting at about 3.4 volts. Where I stuffed up, I grabbed my LiPo charger, I connected to the positive and negative of the outside, ignored the LiPo charger, little ISDT one I've got, saying, hey, connect your balance leads. Said, no, don't worry about the balance leads. But I didn't check the amperage it was charging at. If you were to do it at 1 amp, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It'd charge up, the BMS would do a bit of managing. It wouldn't be so catastrophic. It was still on 10 amps because I was previously out here charging known packs of lithium batteries in 1S configuration. So I changed it to 5S, left it at 10 amps, punched it, and 40 minutes to an hour-ish later, I'm sitting with my back to it, about on the other side of the room, about 2.5 meters away, and didn't hear it until I seen it and smoked the room out. The flames come out the side of the case. The bottom case was on. It was only just a bare top cell. The flames come out through the plastic and up so high they touched the ceiling from my desk. I smothered it out and drowned it with a wet towel and then threw it in the bath and got it underwater. I would really actually like to simulate this outside for you guys with a semi-dead battery, because it is hard to put them out. These were popping and banging under a wet towel underwater. So keep that in mind. That's what's left. Looks like there's the top of a cell. So you can imagine what that smells like. Think of the worst electrical burnt thing you've ever burnt out. Look at that cell. It's blowing the side out of it on fire there. And the one below it. So think horrible electrical smell, horrible electrical smoke that's just going everywhere. It filled the house. About 11 o'clock at night. We just had an instantaneous fireball. So, this is just going to be the start of a series on how to charge things that are in series like this safely, and how to deal with them safely. Ideally, open air outside, under supervision. Ideally. You're dealing with something that's an unknown that you're trying to recover. You know, it could have defective cells. You might not have one of these connections on properly. You might think they're all sitting at 3 volts. You start charging all of them in a big bank. One of these is at 4.2 already. It makes contact again with its terminal because everything starts to warm up and move, or whatever the scenario could be, because these spot welders do break. That 4.2 volt cell will be greedy every time. They'll always get out of balance. They'll always be greedy. You're recovering things that have got out of sync, and the safety mechanism on the board says no more. So make sure I've got this clear for you. This was not Milwaukee's fault. This was not on a Milwaukee charger. This was a dead battery that I was trying to charge up to see if all the cells held charge before I processed the actual cell to keep these out of the landfill. So keep that in mind. ISDT's charger prompted me to put balance leads on it before I charged it, and I ignored it. So remember these steps where I've missed simple cues, and then 11 o'clock at night, well 10 o'clock at night when I put it on the charger, after a day at work, I put it on the charger and it was at 10 amps instead of 1. It was well over current. So there's a whole chain of things that went wrong that could have ended in my house looking like that. Because if that hit the carpet, if that hit the floor, whatever, or I couldn't get that to stop burning, or I didn't physically, I had to physically remove that from where it was burning, because it burnt all over the desk, melted plastic all over the desk. So that was, just imagine, just that top case off, that's what's there. So all you're missing is all that plastic's gone. That is vaporized. That's not sitting on the desk inside anymore. That just got burnt, gone. She's gone. That bit at the back there is it. And that's like glass reinforced ABS, maybe. I'm not OVE, he'll be able to tell you. But it's good plastic. They're tough cases. They're very impact resistant. That's all that's left of it. That burnt in open air on my desk for about less than 30 seconds. And all those cells had let go and all hell broke loose. I had big like noise cancelling headphones on, big like Dr. Dre beats, listening to videos. I think I might have, I was actually editing when it went off. I'm just glad I wasn't listening to music or something that was loud, but I actually felt the flames at the same time as I seen them. They were that hot. Don't let this deter you from playing with them. I'm not going to stop playing with them, but listen to the warnings. If I had have been away from this battery, my house would be on the ground, burnt to the ground. And I'm actually going to bring all my stored batteries back outside, because it's winter and it's cold as hell here. It's like 5 degrees at the moment, Celsius. Obviously not cold compared to some people in other countries, but it's cold. All my batteries are inside. If my house caught fire, the fire brigade would not be able to put it out. Remember your energy density that's stored in there? Think of that as the heat that will come out of them just as you deplete them safely. You probably 10 times that when they're going off like a bomb. Then times them by, I think I got like 2,000 in the house at the moment. So they're all coming outside, and we're going to talk about how we safely store those as well. So this is just the start. This is a bit of an introduction. This went wrong. I don't want it to go wrong for you. Balance leads. That's all you need. And your charger will say, nah, no more. And it'll stop it. So if you're charging something like this, doesn't matter what Could be an AEG battery. Could be a Makita battery. It could be a hoverboard battery. The battery really doesn't matter. Well, that's the frame that 9 amps are in. The battery kind really does not matter at all. That's not the problem here. Like I say, not the manufacturer's fault. Not the cell manufacturer's fault. They were 30 Qs. Yes, I killed 15 30 Qs. No, none of them are recoverable. Let's see some funny questions on some of the forums. No, dead. The heat that they were subjected to is just ridiculous. There's a big burn mark on my table inside. Charge them somewhere responsibly. Supervise them. Use BMSs, use balance leads. That's why we've got all that stuff. I'm going to make some videos for you about the safest way to do things, the best way to recover batteries, what's inside, different kinds of batteries, safe ways to disassemble them, etc. I just don't want anyone to be in a situation that I was in the other night, about a week ago. If it stops one person from doing that, awesome. Share this with your mates that are playing with batteries. Regardless of the kind, I don't care if they're lead acid, I don't care if they're these. Lead acids don't get greedy and just explode for no reason. Well, not for no reason, but willy-nilly. The problem with these is, lead acid's an open-vented battery. These are a pipe bomb. Yes, they vent. Don't get me wrong, I've vented them intentionally. I've put heat guns on them. I know how they vent. Little caps pop up and they vent. Not when they're in a big bunch and they're going thermal. If they vent before they go thermal, they will literally just vent. I'll try and link to the... I'll link it in the end of the video here. The video where I was throwing magnets on top of them and I made it vent. It never exploded. They just vented. It was awesome. They did their thing. It doesn't happen when they're in a big bunch and they're being charged at 10 amps for nearly an hour. They just explode. Fireball. That's what happens. I wasn't going to make a video about this. I didn't want to scare anyone. But the safety and education aspect of this is too important. I would much rather know that I've contributed to people doing something safely than to just sweep this under the rug and forget it ever happened and just continue like I do. Part of me said, screw this, I'm not doing anything with batteries ever again. I was going to get rid of all my 18650s. Sadly, I have decided to not continue the build for the RV battery because I don't believe in these cell frames they'll be secure and safe enough in case my friends start touring corrugated roads, things like that, to guarantee 100% without a doubt that they can't. One in the middle of the pack's only got to go rogue, and then you can start a chain reaction. If you've got 800 cells in a hot van on a hot day, cruising through the Northern Territory or wherever they'll end up going, you can't risk that detonating. If that detonates, nothing they can do will put it out. A fire truck won't put it out. And you've got a camper van full of styrofoam, sandwich paneling kind of stuff, carpet, truck tyres, diesel, LPG, petrol. It's got everything on board. Like it doesn't need a lithium fuse. So we won't be building this for Pokey and Sunshine's camper van anymore, sadly. Not because they didn't want me to. I apologised to them and said I'm not making it anymore. We will make it as a stationary stored item for power here, and we'll still make it in the 4S configuration. That'll just happen further down the track, guys. Sorry. More to be said about all of this. We will continue processing cells. We're going to set up a processing station in here. This room is this is in the back of my workshop. This is a Besser block room. We're actually going to line the ceiling above this bench up there with cement sheet. It's already got insulating foil up there, but we're going to line these timber beams with cement sheet. We're going to paint it white and make a bit of a studio out of it, but at the same time we're making it more flame proof. If one of these goes up in here, as long as I'm not standing on top of it, it's happy days. Not an issue. So more to come. Safety is key. Don't do what Johnny does. All that kind of thing. If you want to support the channel, everything's down below. Share this with someone building a battery, please. Especially if they're not well versed in the safety side of things. Safety is everything. Don't burn your house down. Don't lose all your stuff. All that. Be safe out there, guys. Don't light yourself on fire. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's a bit of a long video. They're all going to be long videos. I'm going to do a bit of a quick tip thing with, finding heaters and, like as in batteries that are shit. And all that. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next video.